Hi, my name is Gerard Culling. I'm a software engineer here at Jade. I've been working on a new feature called Direct REST. For over a decade, Jade has had the ability to expose REST service applications. Unfortunately, these applications require the use of IIS. We all love IIS, you know we do. But we also need more flexibility now. So the Direct REST feature adds native HTTP1 messaging support into the product. This means that REST services can now communicate directly with any HTTP1 compliant application like a reverse proxy, a browser, a TLS endpoint, a load balancer, a cloud gateway, lots of different things. So let's have a look at this feature. First of all, it's enabled via an any file setting in the web options section. It's very simple, direct REST, set it to true. Oops. Now let's run up a Jade environment. This is our current unreleased in development version, which will be available in 2025. So here we have a completely empty system. So first we'll add a user schema. Oh, let's even spell it right. Okay, bring up the class browser, navigate to the Jade REST service class. All Jade REST applications require you to subclass from the Jade REST service class. So let's do that. Okay, so to create a REST endpoint, we add a Jade method in our subclass. The method names have to start with one of the standard HTTP verbs. So get, let's just return a string literal because that's the easiest thing we can do. So we set the return type to a string, and then we return a literal. Oh, compiled first time, wonderful. Now let's create Jade REST application. So the main thing is to set the application type. In this particular instance, I've chosen to create a REST service that will have a console app just for the purposes of this demonstration. If you had a production system, you wouldn't normally do that. And then we have to set up our endpoint. So here we're just going to localhost. Let's pick a random port number. Have to fill in machine name. We don't need the Jade HTTP DLL because we're not sitting in behind IIS. We select the REST service class and we're done. There's the REST app. So let's start it. Boom. And now we can use the browser to navigate to the endpoint. The browser will insert the get verb on its own, and there we are. But, normally you'd want to return a class, so the contents of a class in JSON format. So let's add a class. Give it a couple of attributes. There we go. Let's make it a big string. Oh, let's make it publicly available. Makes everything easier. Just a couple of different types. There we go. Now let's go back here and add a new method. And we'll set the return type to the new class we've just created. And since we're returning an instance of a class, we have to have a local variable so we can create one. So let's just create a transient so we don't make it too complicated. We'll set some values on it. And we can return it. No, because we've, this is, the infrastructure will take care of cleaning up the transient for us because it's returned in the method. So now if we go to our web browser, we can go to the new endpoint, and here it is here. Well, it's pretty printed. There we go. Now, a new feature that we've added in Direct REST is the ability to return, to have binary payloads, which, is quite handy. So let's create a new endpoint, and the return type is binary. Because we're we're going to be reading the contents of a file, then we need to create a file to read that off the disk. Okay, so we're reading the file, so that means the mode is input. It's a binary file, so we need to signal that. And of course, we need to tell the system where to find this file. And now we need to return the contents of the file. So we read the binary off the disk. We need to give this method a length. So let's read the whole file. And what that will do is create a binary primitive that contains the contents of the file. Now, because we're returning the binary contents and not the file itself, we need to delete that object, otherwise we'll leak some memory, which is uncool. And finally, because what this has done is you'll have a HTTP message where the payload is binary, you'll need to add a content type header so that the recipient knows the format of the file, which in this case is PNG. So we can add a response header field, and we want to set the standard content type header field, and we set the value image PNG, which is all standard stuff. Oops. Yay. So now if we go back to the browser, we hit the endpoint. Hello world. Thank you very much. I hope this demonstration has showed how easy it is to create a REST service, and it's always been quite easy, but now the Jade part of it, and we've got rid of the awkward part, which is setting up IIS. Thank you.